Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason, bringing you today's episode. My fuzzy co-star Freya is here, but she has exhausted herself with all the sleeping she's done today, so she needs to rest. But she might make an appearance somewhere in there. So for today, I want to go a little bit different. I don't want to talk about a specific book. I don't want to talk about a specific author. I actually want to talk about genres, because one of the big things with us is we want to bring you guys new books. We really think more people should read, and more people should read for fun. A lot of times, books that become really big and well known are frankly, I find them kind of boring. I've read Ayn Rand, kind of dull. Not what I would decide to read as entertainment on my breaks at work. It's just not, not my cup of tea. I've read Faulkner, again, not my kind of thing. I want to bring you guys the action blockbusters or the mystery thrillers, the fun stuff. So please, guys, hit the like, subscribe buttons. We bring you guys a ton of videos. We talk about books, talk about authors. We want to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this no matter what. Oh boy, the puppy heard a motorcycle. She hates motorcycles. And we want to bring all this to you guys. And we're going to bring all this to you guys. We would just really appreciate any support, any likes, any subscribes would mean a lot to us. So for today, I want to talk about genres, because I want to talk about the genres of books, because a lot of people are missing out. You've got your main genres, you've got your sub-genres, and so many people pigeonhole themselves into one particular genre or avoid other genres because of something, stigma, or, oh, it's just not my cup of tea, or, I read one in there and just didn't like it. Remember, if you read one book in a genre and didn't like it, that doesn't mean the whole genre sucks. It means that particular author doesn't do it for you. So first, let's talk about some of the genres and why some people really like those. Science fiction. I'm a huge science fiction fan. Science fiction, and that can even be broken down into a couple of subgenres. You've got your space, your future, your space opera, your future kind of stuff. We're out amongst the stars. We've got alien civilization. Sometimes it's just humanity has made it just that far. So what's some of the appeal to science fiction? You got the technology. You get to play around with technology. You get to play around with the stuff that we can only just imagine, that we can kind of picture. The other appeal to it is the alien races, and just you get to play around with different governments, different philosophies, stuff like that. Which also means that someone that's a fan of the space opera type of books might be a fan of fantasy, because you've got your different races. Instead of technology, you have magic. Very, very similar. A second type of science fiction is more of the cyberpunk type of science fiction. There's multiple subgenres, but cyberpunk is another big one, and that's more our world adjacent. A lot of times still ends up in the future, but more our world adjacent, and more with things that we can almost see as possibly happening, maybe not within our lifetimes, but pretty close. Things like implanted technology, which we already have. But just imagine if your iPhone was implanted into your brain and you could see the screen on your eye. You can see eventually that could actually happen. You can actually picture that. Well, we talk about how, space opera has, your interstellar drives and stuff like that. And sure, one day maybe we figure it out, but we can't actually see that happening yet. With cyberpunk, you can almost see it happening, and oftentimes it looks at how the world might change with that. But you've got your tech, you've got your modern world adjacent, and if I were to draw any parallels between genres, between the cyberpunk genre, I'd almost go with the superhero type genre. Because the implanted technology, especially when you go into things like Shadowrun or other cyberpunk worlds, you've got creatures and beings that are basically superhuman because of technology. Your $6 million man is a superhero because of technology, not because of any kind of mystical and mythical powers. Which leads right to the superhero genre. Superhero genre, it's pure fantasy. It's pure escapism. People just love the idea of it, and it's super entertaining. You cannot deny that. It's super entertaining, and because of the current movie landscape and such. It's really big in our cultural awareness right now. Fantasy is probably one of the biggest genres, one of the most well-known genres, thanks to some super massive, well-known books. Lord of the Rings, Song of Ice and Fire, which most of you guys would know of as Game of Thrones, The Witcher, which really started as a video game more than a book, but or became popular because of that. Kind of, guys, I hate to say it, but Game of Thrones, the TV show, is really what made Song of Ice and Fire. I had read the books before the TV series came out. I know of 2 other people that have. it was the TV show that made it great and well known, not the books. I'm not a huge fan of the books, which is why we've never reviewed them. I mean, nobody, again, I know two people of all the hundreds of people I've talked to about the show, two people that had heard of or read the books prior to the TV show. Lord of the Rings, almost everybody I know read it long before the movies came out, mostly because of school and stuff like that. But you've got your other fantasy series, you know, you've got your Dragonlance series, you've got your Companions of the Hall series with Drizzt and Bruenor and Catti-brie. You've got some just amazing fantasy series out there, so it's super well-known genre. Your urban fantasy kind of falls more into taking fantasy and putting it into modern times, and you have similar appeals between both fantasy and urban fantasy. One thing about fantasy and about urban fantasy is that people can really kind of put themselves into the book. Like it's definitely fantasy because you almost fantasize about being that hero. You know, being that you know, that normal person that suddenly is part of a prophecy, doesn't really necessarily have any abilities or powers, is just kind of drawn into this adventure and saves the world. You know, people can almost see, they can see themselves, you know, training themselves to be good with a sword and a shield or a warhammer or an axe. You can't see yourself training yourself to be able to fly and shoot laser beams out of your hands. You can't, you know, picture yourself training yourself to travel between the stars or training yourself to become bionic. So the fantasy and urban fantasy, they kind of give you that feel, especially when you add magic to it, because magic in a lot of the books comes off as something that you can learn. Maybe you have to have a small talent for it, but otherwise you can learn it, and if you don't learn it, maybe you can gain it from other things. So you're kind of your everyday man can do it. And urban fantasy crosses our modern world, which we're most familiar with fantasy. Now you've got things like Jim Butcher, Kevin Hearn, you've got the Alex Vera novels, I mean, there's so many of them. Deacon Chalk books. It's just a ton of them. And then you've got mysteries. Your mysteries are very appealing to people because the cleverness of the characters. And we see, you know, you got your Sherlock Holmes and characters along those lines. And it's just the cleverness of the plot. Oftentimes you've got your twists and, you know, some foreshadowing. The thrillers is just pure action and adventure. That's your you know, $100 million blockbuster opening weekend action movies. The thrillers, oftentimes they're military or cops, things along those lines, and there's a ton of action and it's just balls to the wall. But just because you like one particular series, again, or one particular genre, again, it has nothing to do necessarily with the genre. There's some fantastic authors that write in other genres that I guarantee you would enjoy. You know, one of the more common subgenres that people ignore is the harem lit genre, simply because of the stigma attached to it. But some of those authors are absolutely insanely fantastic authors and end up creating other pen names just so they could write in more mainstream genres and achieve the same success. So, you know, if you stick to a particular genre and you're not running out of books, awesome, keep going, enjoy your time, enjoy your reading. But if you're looking for a new book, try looking at other genres. Thank you everybody for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.